everyone, and welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? A show where everything is made up, but the points actually do matter. If any of that sounds a little familiar, well, that's because yes, this is an improv comedy podcast where all the stories you're about to hear were completely made up on the spot, guided and prompted by real improv comedy games. How does it work? Well, two players are tasked with having a podcast-like interview or conversation, making it all up as they go, but there's a third guest who can interrupt at any time and give them new rules or new directions for their conversation via a list of different improv games and guidelines. How do you win? Well, if a player breaks character or simply doesn't follow the rules of the game they're in at the time, the other person is awarded a point, and at the end of a 20-minute time limit, the guest with the most points wins, and of course, becomes known to the world as a comedic genius. So, without any further ado, let's find out who's making stuff up in this episode. Sounds like we are ready to make an episode of an improv comedy show. What do you guys think?
I think we're ready.
I slept good for the first time last night in like a fucking week. I was like, wow. Yeah.
So now you're ready and rearing to go.
Finally, yeah.
Well, in that case, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? This is a very real podcast, all about a fake podcast, where someone's life story is about to be made up right here, right now, on the spot. But of course, I cannot do that by myself. Yeah. Joining me in this episode, my wonderful friends, Terrance and Amber. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank
Hello.
you.
Thanks.
Amber, thanks for coming back. And Terrance, welcome back from season 1.
It's been a long time, but I'm glad to be here.
How have the millions of dollars and world fame been treating you since being a part of season 1?
Well, the groupies were a bit rough to get used to. You know?
That's fair.
I've had 4 divorces since then, but the millions of dollars did help cushion the blow.
Yeah, it must not have been that bad of a life change because you're back for season 2.
Yeah, well, when I'm talking about cushion the blow, I was talking about the blow that I was
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
No, of course, absolutely. It was, when I opened the door of the studio to welcome Terrance in, he actually poofed it right in my face. And,
on top of the millions of dollars.
Yes. And one of the dollar bills blew into my face, and I have a slight paper cut. Right. But I think I'm going to be able to make it through and make an episode of this show. So, fellas and ladies and everybody listening, I think we're going to make some stuff up. Okay. And I think someone's going to accumulate some points, and someone's going to make a little bit of less points, and at some point, someone's going to make millions of dollars and lots of blow, and it's okay because we all win in the end. But we can't get started until I give you guys the theme of this episode.
All right.
Surely.
So here is what I'm thinking. Terrance.
Me too. I'm freaking out.
All right. What we got?
Wait, we were just excited.
No,
2 minutes ago.
Very excited. It doesn't mean I'm not scared. It's like being on a fucking roller coaster, my dear boy.
Well, speaking of being scared, I'm going to give us a little bit of a wild and wacky, maybe I dare say spooky and dangerous theme for this episode.
Let's go.
Because Terrance, this is going to be your show. So you are the interviewer, you are the host of this podcast.
Okay.
That means your guest is Amber. But the twist with this one is that you, Terrance, host a true crime podcast.
Oh, man.
And your guest for this episode, Amber, you are a former serial killer.
Ooh.
So you're here to talk about all that you did, how you got away with it, or maybe you didn't, I don't know, but all the things we're going to really, a special guest for a true crime podcast here. So are you guys ready to go?
Oh, I'm absolutely
I am going to start the clock, and it's time to make some stuff up. Terrance, take it away.
Hello, and welcome to Almost Got Away With It. I am your host, Robert Cosby, and we have a very special guest, Miss Casey Falter here.
Hey, how's it going?
Yes. Well, look, I'm glad that we were able to get you here. You got a reprieve from the facility to be here.
Well, yep, we're in the break room of jail, and I love jail.
Yeah. Well, look, I just want to get into it. What we want to discuss today is we know that you had quite a career, murdering folks, and really, how did you pick this line of work?
Well, I have to say it's probably because my dad never paid attention to me.
Yes.
He's just like, look at me, you know.
Well, I'm sure he's watching now here
He
on the.
certainly isn't. No.
Oh.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. He wasn't my first victim. It's not a big deal. They never found his body.
Change.
It's not a big deal. He moved really far away.
Change.
I hit him really well.
Well, that's the type of revelations that we're looking for, and they almost got away with the podcast. And,
I was just never convicted. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about the rest of them. They're more fun.
Well, fair enough. Well, look, I know that this is we're actually really close to celebrating your 100th victim before you went into retirement.
Yeah, and it wasn't my choice.
Yeah. No, not by choice.
No.
Well, would you care to tell us the reasons that we didn't make it to the century mark?
You seen the news.
Yeah.
You seen the news.
We did.
I know those mean boys on Reddit. They're so cruel.
Yeah.
They're really mean.
Yeah.
I don't like what they're saying.
Well, I don't really like, I don't like the online slander, but
Change.
I'm a big fan of online slander. And to be fair, when you decided to get one of those the air things that wave in the air like this.
Yeah, I thought that was very fun.
Yeah. I thought that was a strange place to put on top of the last victim's body.
You know why I did it?
Yeah. No, why?
I saw it on The Masked Singer.
Oh, on the Masked Singer.
I seen one of them on The Masked Singer, and I go, he's having fun.
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of the Masked Singer. This, I still don't know who the wolf is.
Oh, I can tell you.
We'll save that for the next podcast.
Pause. I'm going to interject with our very first game of this episode. Let's go ahead and continue our conversation, but we're going to do it by playing Alphabet. So, you must each begin your next sentence with the next chronological letter in the alphabet, and we are going to start with M. And take it away.
Might you be interested in telling us where you purchased the big balloon thingy that blows?
Oh, yeah. You know Amazon? Not from there. I got it off of, Target? Not from there. But do you know Ollie's?
Probably.
Ollie's is a big bargain discount store, and it's on the south end, and every time I go in there, I get pretty scared. But they sell laundry detergent for cheap, and they had a wacky waving baby boy in the aisle, the same aisle.
I wanted to let you get all that out.
I'm sorry.
But you lost immediately.
Did I really? LMN?
It was N is what we were looking for.
Fuck me!
You went to O.
I literally...
Dropped it probably in there.
I knew that they were close enough together. I was like, you better start at the beginning of the fucking alphabet.
You kept going. I was like, you know what? I got to listen to where this is going. So I waited to interject.
I was like, I don't know where.
That is 1 point to Terrance. And continue the conversation as normal.
But being a big fan of the Masked Singer and the last victim putting the blowy thing up. I don't know what the fuck those things are called, but maybe I'll have my producer, if he knew what he was doing, he'd tell me. Anyway, prior to that, before we got to number 99, I know that you spent a lot of time working in a candy factory, and there were a lot of victims that you found in the candy factory.
They were invite only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd invite certain special people with beautiful, beautiful voices, and then I'd feed them candy, so their teeth would be as bad as mine.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm going to interject with another game here. Let's go ahead and continue the conversation, but we're going to play Fortunately, Unfortunately, where both of you must begin your next sentence with either fortunately or unfortunately, and go.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, the candy thing wasn't the grandest idea that you had when you started the life of serial crime.
Nope. Unfortunately, I don't listen well.
I'm going to let that slide.
Okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best idea. But I had a friend at the studios of The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
And I said, here's my invites. And everybody that is performing there, I'd say, come get some candy.
Yeah. Well. Fortunately, that got you quite a few, invites, people to come in there, and left them in quite many of them in sticky situations.
A lot of them are dead. Yeah. So yeah, fuck.
Here I am. I'm like, I'm so well rested. I'm so ready. And I can't even pay attention.
Another point to Terrance.
Let's get some more coffee in my whole body. Let's see. Fuck.
We can continue our conversation as normal, but while we're paused here, I'm gonna go ahead and play a role of podcast producer here. I'm gonna come in and change some things up and add some elements to the story. I want at some point in this interview, I want Terrance to reveal that one of the victims of Amber's, whatever her name was, character, was a family member of Terrance, and he's here to confront you about that finally. So let's reveal that at some point and continue.
You know what? You killed one of my family members.
Just straight to it, huh? Wow.
And I'm here to confront you about it.
It's like that thought just popped into your head out of nowhere. Why would you say that? Why would you even have me here?
Because I've been sitting here the entire time with unbridled joy, and... Do
you want to kill me?
No, not at all.
Oh,
In
that's
fact,
cool.
I'd like to shake your hand.
Okay. Well, I thought you were going to pull... You're big and strong.
Oh, no,
I thought you were
no,
going to pull me over there and kill me to death.
Well, look, no. So, look, the reason why I started this podcast, I've almost got away with it, is because my brother. I've had a brother for 20 years, and he's been getting on my goddamn nerves. And one day he went missing. And come to find out that you're responsible for it. And I just wanted to look you in the eye and give you a firm handshake.
You didn't like him either?
No, he was an asshole.
He was. And guess what? He was the big bumblebee on The Masked Singer.
He was the bumblebee?
You don't even watch it?
I sometimes, I started watching in season 6.
Oh, okay.
But now that we're here and I have you here, I just wanted to get rid of the guise of all of this.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I want to thank you. Jeffrey's been an asshole. He's just been a pain in my tooth. He even hit on my girlfriend once. But
she's hot.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I'd fuck her.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, she's fucking. Did you see them titties?
They're fantastic.
You come on those things?
Well, I paid for them,
Oh, then they're all yours.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, again, at least some ownership.
I'm going to pause us. This seems like a better time than any to go ahead and interject with the game, if you know what I mean, where each player must speak using only a form of an innuendo, and go.
Speaking of titties, I've always been a big fan of titties, if you know what I mean.
I'd wear your girlfriend's suit, if you know what I mean, okay?
That's a suit that's been worn by quite a few people, if you know what I mean.
She's a fucking whore. I think I know what you mean?
The reason why my brother's gone and I'm smiling is all because of you, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I walked in on them once, and he was putting a Masked Singer on his dinger, if you know what I mean. right before he wore your girlfriend on his dinger. Another Masked Singer. It was like an inception of singers, and they were singing "If You Catch My Drift."
I'm gonna go ahead and end that round.
Has it ever been done worse?
Amber gets a point for that one. That one was really great.
Yeah.
So go ahead and continue the conversation as we were.
But look, the Almost Got Away with the podcast really wants to know, when you got rid of my brother, I just want to thank you. It really brings a tear to my eye. You've done the thing that I didn't have the courage to do.
Change.
I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, you're a master at what you do. And hopefully I aspire to one day be on the other side of the interview table on a podcast such as this.
You want to be on my jail podcast?
I'd love to. I'd be honored.
They let me do it in the cafeteria if I clean real good.
Oh, well, look, whatever you need me to do to get in there, if I have to bake a cake and put a key or something in there, I don't know how this works.
Oh, I'm pretty close with most of the guys. You can just waltz right in here whenever.
Change.
I fuck the janitor, and he lets all of my friends in here, no problem.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. That sounds like a plan.
I'm going to go ahead and pause us, interject with another game here. Let's go ahead and continue the conversation, but using questions only, and go.
Do you want anybody else dead in your family?
Why wouldn't I?
That's a lovely question, and I have to ask you one more. That's a lovely question, and I'm not done with my question. My question is, who goes first?
It wouldn't be my mom. It wouldn't be my dad. Would it be my younger sister?
Would it be that whore bitch Katrina?
I don't know if I can let that one slide, Terrance.
You're pulling a real Amber over there.
Would it be?
Even the last bit where you tried to make it a question, it wasn't still even just the inflection worked a little bit, but you know what? While we're paused here, this is a good time to go ahead and interject with a game that we can play at any time. We are going to play Whose Line. I am now going to disperse 2 secret lines to each of you that in the next handful of moments I would love for you to implement into your conversation, and go.
Well, look, just now that you know that you've made a few people happy, namely myself, what now is the future look like for you? Such an accomplished career.
I mean, I hope that in this short amount of time we got to talk, not only did we talk about how much we both hated your brother, but all of my victims have been anybody who's performed on The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope that you were just understanding that, because I fear we'll run out of time, and I really wanted that to make sense. But my main motivation, if that is what you asked, I forgot, but I guess it's just that I'm wearing an adult diaper right now. And I am very distracted today, and I'm sorry I haven't really listened to a lot of the rules.
Well, look, I've learned that you should always follow. You don't have to follow the rules, but follow your heart. You know.
Thank you. That means so much.
And in fact, you know, what my grandmother used to always tell me was, "Ever seen something like this before?" And I would always tell her, "Granny, no, I haven't. I haven't."
What was she showing you in that moment? I'm kind of worried about you.
Well, she was showing me her saggy boobs. You know,
Change.
She was showing me her freshly replaced set of titties. Granny was 97. Those titties were 2 or 3 years old.
Baby tits?
Well, yeah, technically the doctor's work, something that I did want to ask you before we got off the air here. What was the last thing that my brother said to you before he expired?
Oh, well, I got it tattooed right here on my arm.
Oh.
And I'll read it to you. It was my favorite thing that anyone's ever said as I killed him. Seriously, this is an honor.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want to see my rash?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's good." I mean, and then I wish I fucking killed him less fast because I wanted to hear the answer. I said yes, and then he just fucking died. But I imagine it was a rash from wearing that fucking bumblebee suit and singing in there.
You would think,
Yeah.
but actually it's that rash that my girlfriend gave to me also. She gave to him, that bastard. Well, anyway.
I have some of that same rash, but it's only on my hand because she didn't let me go all the way.
You know what? I as soon as I get out of here, I have something that I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her, will you let me smell your hand real quick?
She has it on her hands, too. She would only let me hold her hands at the movie. That's as far as we got. She goes, "These titties are for you-know-who. You, of course."
Well, look, I mean, I paid for them. Yeah. With this.
Speaking of paying for things, I'm going to pause us completely here real quick. We've got to pay some bills around here. It's time for an ad break. And Terrance, go ahead and tell the people about our sponsor for this episode.
This episode of Almost Got Away With It podcast is sponsored by bumblebee stew. When you can't get the bee and you can't get the stew, bumblebee is it for me and you.
Hey, you know what? That's so great. You get a point for that. And the timer continues. But before we do, we're in our last 5 minutes of the game here.
Great.
And I think it's time for, I'm going to go ahead and make it official and hit the button here, to use one of my host powers. And I'm going to go ahead to close out this interview. I want you guys to switch roles. So Terrance, you are now the serial killer. And Amber, this is now your true crime podcast.
Okay.
And you don't have to do that voice anymore if you don't want to.
I always ruin people's lives by doing that. I'm so annoying. Okay.
And the clock begins and go.
Well, since since you've been asking me a lot of questions, it's turned a lot of things into perspective. I really wish that I had killed more people more sooner.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking to you having this vendetta against all these people in The Masked Singer, like, is there another show you want to kill everybody on?
The American fucking Idol. Yeah, ever since I went on there, that son of a bitch, Simon Cowell, I don't like his face.
And, okay, I feel like there's something deep in you that, like, did you want to be a singer? Because you have a horrible voice. Like, you sound like absolute dog shit.
I'm going to pause us, interject with another game here. We're going to continue this conversation, but we are going to play number of words.
Fuck.
Terrance, you get 4 words. Amber, you get 2. And go.
Yeah, I wanted to,
That's nice.
but couldn't make choir.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Amber.
What's next?
Kill more fucking people.
Sounds amazing.
America's Got Talent is next.
Fuck them.
Fuck all of them.
Well wishes.
God bless United States of America. God bless this podcast.
Here's the thing. I was about to end that game and give you both a point, but Terrance, you went ahead and added more words. So that is another point to Amber. We are in the last few minutes of this show. So guys, let's find a way to wrap up this interview.
All right, wait, am I still? I'm still
Yeah,
you.
is that-
I'm still you. Look, I got a little freedom here, and if there's anybody else you'd like me to off, let me know. I'll off them for you.
Do they have to be singers or?
I'm feeling really generous right now. I'll take them all out.
I love that. And thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. My brother his absence has made, I feel like my dick is an inch longer.
Yeah.
I'm so happy and thrilled. And I think my girlfriend and I almost have like a future together where she's only fucking like 6 or so other guys at the same time. And, I'll come back and visit you in the cafeteria.
You can come visit me anytime you want. And, I'm glad your dick is an inch longer,
Thank you.
because what your girlfriend said, if I do the math correctly, now you got a half inch of dick now.
A really hurtful joke to end on, but we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
She said it was an innie, I mean?
I don't wanna
at
talk
least
about
it's
it.
an outie, I think,
It's okay. Fucking shut up.
But, but the rash, might make a little add of extra lymph to it,
Yeah. Okay.
I think this accent...
Did you see my dick? Because it's just one big bump.
Well, she spoke a lot about it, She spoke a lot about the dick. And she said, look, whatever you can give me is more than what I've ever had, in the last few months,
This is how we're going to end the podcast.
Sorry. You almost got away with people not knowing you had a small dick.
And hey, you almost got away with 100 murders. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an honor.
Nice.
Glad to be here. God bless America. I'm from New Jersey, I guess.
Do you own a comedy club? Okay.
So here's what's interesting.
Oh shit!
Sorry, I was
One, you just you ended that wonderfully.
Great.
Love that you tied that back into the theme of the show.
Great.
We also ended technically about 15 seconds earlier.
Oh no.
But this is all adding up because we have an unprecedented event here on this episode. And by unprecedented, I mean it has happened several times before.
Yeah.
And it's also happening here right now, and it's equally exciting every single time. We have a tie.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Can I keep this voice to the end of the episode?
You absolutely can, which means we got to go into some overtime here. So we can go ahead and the interview's not done yet. Okay? But Terrance, you can keep that voice. Yes, you will stay your switched characters. So Terrance, you're still the murderer.
I love it. I love this voice.
Amber, this is still your podcast.
Okay.
But just to give us a little bit more guidance here, not only, you found out that the serial killer murdered your brother, right? And you also said that you, at some point in time, your character said that you would love to also be your serial killer and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Here is what I want you to reveal as we again attempt to close this up and maybe score some more points. Yeah. The guidelines we're giving here is, Amber, you are going to bring up that Terrance's character actually attempted to kill you once, but you were the one that got away.
Oh.
So that is our new theme here, and we are going to do that by playing... You know what? Let's go ahead and go back to it since we didn't make it very far last time. We're going to do that with Alphabet. This is our tiebreaker.
Yep.
And you know what? To make it nice and simple,
Okay.
we are going to start...
Simple for who? Why'd you say it that way? I feel attacked. It's because I'm a woman.
We are going to start with the one we would have did the second time in the last game, N. We are starting with N.
And
And Amber, this is your show, so go ahead and take it away.
No one knows this but me. But I feel like we have to address this. Do you remember attacking somebody in the alley behind Panera in July of 2014?
oh yeah, you betcha I do. If I remember correctly, it was someone in a hat.
Perhaps this hat?
Quite likely.
Really?
Sure of it, now that you mention it. The hat, it had the little buff boy on it,
Truly wild, but I want to know, do you remember choking me out and spitting on me because you heard me singing? Was that a full word? Fuck me. Fuck, sorry.
I'm not sure. I didn't know that was you,
Very sorry to throw this on you at the very end of the podcast, but it was me, and I had to, like, my vocal cord collapsed. I got a little balloon in my throat now, and I just thought we had to address it. But I have to say, like, now I love being choked.
Will you forgive me for that transgression, Amber?
Xylophones are ringing in my ears right now. I feel fucking crazy. Sorry. Yes, of course. Of course I forgive you, and I feel like we're fast friends now.
You like getting choked, you say? Because, I still got a little free time, for this. They send me back to the cell, I get that. What did they call that? You get to make mushy with people every few months in the prison cells.
Zootopia is playing in the background, and I'm so distracted. I love that movie. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Before we sign off, can you, do you have any plugs? We'll just move right past the fact that you tried to kill me, but I just thought we should bring it up.
Certainly. I got one last plug. The last plug I have, if we want to be on the podcast episode, I've recently started a line of underwears. They're called G-Undies,
change?
I started a new line of started a YouTube page where I wear underwear. You know, I call it Me Undies. You know, what I do, I try these things on. You know, I take them out of the box, I try them on, I take them off. You know, I try them on, I take them off, and then I sell you the ones that I used. You know, so if you're watching now, you know, you subscribe to my YouTube page, and I send you Me Undies.
Dare I say, I would love to see that.
Everybody wants to see it, Amber. Everybody wants to see it.
Fuck me. It's the end of the podcast. Great having you.
Great being a part of it. I wouldn't want to be any place else in the world right now, you know?
Hi. I quit. I was trying so hard to get it to end.
We still had a ways to go. You had to make it back to end.
We had to make it back to end?
I mean, if you wanted to win, you had to make it
not-
back to end.
I forgot what letter it was on.
You did great. G for great.
That
man.
means that game is over. That was our tiebreaker. And the final point has been awarded, which means that Terrance takes this victory. It sounds like you're going to be getting some more dollars, more blow, more groupies to go. I made that rhyme, so it was nice and fancy.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. You know, I don't do this. I didn't get into art to express art. I came into it specifically for groupies, blow, and money.
And money, of course. Yeah, well, this is the right place to do that.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to become a groupie for you, offer you money or blow, where can they find you around the internet to do so?
The God Show, THAGAWD. I'm sure it's going to be here or somewhere. THAGAWD. I don't know how to spell it.
You know what? If you don't know how to spell it, it is literally right beneath him on the screen right there. Now, Amber, if anybody wants to find you, or maybe they know a serial killer they would like you to either play and or come and interview, where can they hit you up to do that at?
I love that you chose true crime because I'm, of course, boring and love that stuff. So, yeah, just my Instagram. That's where I have all my show things and then all of my mental breakdowns publicly.
Beautiful. If you want to go see her mentally break down any day of the week, you can find her at right down there. Guys, what a wacky twist of a tale that was. You know what's wild is as many twists there was where that could have went any other way, your characters really wanted to be friends. Like, really wanted to be friends.
Yeah, I think that's
That could have went any direction. And maybe that was the moral of the story, right?
It's not about the people you kill, but the friends that you meet along the way.
Exactly. And on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this show up and officially say goodbye. Now, guys, it's becoming a tradition here on the show that I get to play one final game with my guest to tell the people goodbye. And that is by helping me form a couple sentences worth of a wrap-up to the show using one word at a time. So we're all going to play a nice little game together to wrap it up here in this wonderful community building exercise that we've found here. That serial killers aren't all that bad. So we are going to go this way around the table. I will kick us off. Hello.
And
Good.
Bye.
to
My
Favorite
silly
hilarious
little
boy.
and
I
Love
every
little
boy.
and
tickle
Every
little
boy
before
bedtime.
That's good enough for me. At Who's Life Pod, everybody.